Gautam Adani, a college dropout, a person who survived the siege of Taj Hotel in Mumbai. Keep in mind, 167 people died in that terrorist attack, and he somehow survived. Furthermore, he was kidnapped at one point, and somehow they let him go without any ransom. I mean, Adani must be a really good negotiator. He was clearly able to negotiate his own release from his kidnappers. I mean, if he can negotiate his kidnappers to release him, I try and negotiate you to please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button so that you can join me and be part of the group. Oh, and did I mention this man is worth 59 billion US dollars? Now, this man does sound like a very juicy biography or a movie waiting to just happen. Numerous number of people throughout the world hate him, especially the Indians and the Australians. They hate him. My name's Gary and you're watching In Search of Life, and in today's video we'll see how Mr. Adani grew so big, so quick, and got to be so hated by so many people. That's a lot of souls. Anyways, let's get started. Now, in order to make it to the upper echelon of rich people in India, it's not just plain hard work. You need to know the right people, you need to bribe the right people, and you always need to have the right connections. That's something I did not know till I read this whole story of Mr. Adani. Now, Adani is someone who comes from very humble beginnings. He was born in the state of Gujarat. Keep this word in mind, it will come in handy. So I'm watching you, write it down, bud. Take notes. Anyhow, he was born in Gujarat to a family with 7 brothers, a huge family, so you're not really born with a golden spoon in your mouth. He's a college dropout who dropped out and moved to Mumbai to work as a diamond sorter. So while he's working in Mumbai, his brother starts a plastic company in Gujarat. He calls him back, he's like, yo dude, let's work on this together. He goes back to spend the next 10 years working on it hard and bribing people. You know what? There's a certain amount of bribery you need back home. They did just that much. So far, so good. For the first 10 years, they do work hard. Keep in mind, you do need to work hard. 10 years into being in business, they landed a golden ticket. They take over the biggest port in Gujarat and they get their hands in the power production sector in India. These two ventures was the main reason why Gautam gained so much wealth really quick at the initial phase of his life. I mean, as India is turning into the factory of the world, you will be exporting and importing a lot of things, and he was sitting right there. He will be making a lot of profit. And on the other hand, he got his hands into the power production industry of India. Keep in mind, 1990s was the time when India was going through a rapid electrification of the country. Basically, these two sectors that he was in got him to that upper level. He got him noticed by other rich people. He was a dude who's rich enough for you to care about, but not, he was just rich enough. So far, so good. Along comes the year 2002 and riots break out in the state of Gujarat. Remember that state I mentioned you should write down? It came in handy, didn't it? Riots break out in the state of Gujarat. About 2,000 people die, and majority of them, at least 3/4 of these people, were all Muslims. This happened while the chief minister of the state was Modi, the current prime minister of the country. It's widely believed that Modi did almost nothing in order to suppress these riots. If anything, there were court cases filed against Modi in order to investigate his role in these riots. At this point, while Modi is going through tough scrutiny and the rest of the business community is trying to distance themselves from Modi because nobody wants bad press, Adani saw a very good opportunity. He jumps right on. He was the only one who was standing in Modi's corner. He supported him through and through. He put his weight on his side. Adani and his companies benefited a lot in Gujarat because of this support. They were given a preferential treatment for many projects that came about in Gujarat. If anything, Adani played a huge role in the election of Modi as the Prime Minister of India. It is believed that Adani Group supported Modi both financially and in many other ways. I mean, at numerous times, Adani gave his boy Modi his jet to fly around and go campaigning. Obviously, you can't be a peasant and, be taking normal flights to go around and campaign. Furthermore, the same preferential treatment that they were receiving from Modi within Gujarat now applied all across the country. Anyhow, this support seems to have paid off. Within the first 8 months of Modi's election, Gautam Adani's net worth grew by 4.1 billion US dollars. That is just in 8 months. In a very interesting turn of events, Adani Group put in their bid to manage 7 big airports within India, and surprisingly, they got them. The Adani Group had zero experience managing any airports, and they still got the bid somehow. Furthermore, the lease was just supposed to be for 30 years, but somehow when you know the right man, the lease gets extended. Now the lease is for 50 years, so yeah, it is paying off. One of my favorite bits of this whole investigation that I just did was a power plant that they have in the state of Jharkhand. Now, Jharkhand is a state that's right next to Bangladesh. So Adani Group imports coal from Australia, burns it all up, causes a bunch of environmental concerns for the people living in Jharkhand, and they sell all of this electricity to Bangladesh. What did the whole province of Jharkhand gain from this? Nothing. One of the strangest things is the agreement that was signed between the state government and the Adani Group stated that 25% of all the electricity produced by this group will be given to the state at a discounted or free rate. And as 2018 comes along, Modi now wants to make sure that Adani is on his side. Guess what? That 25% of electricity deal was scratched. It was no longer valid. If anything, government-owned banks pumped up about $1.5 billion into this whole power plant. It's beyond my understanding why a certain group of people living in this province are paying for the environmental impact to their groundwater or their air pollution while they're getting nothing out of it. And the only gain that's being made is being made by Adani. Over in Australia, Adani Group is trying to set its roots deeper, if anything, but the people there are not happy about it. The government is quite supportive of him, which either means that he's paid some people off or there is maybe some benefit to it. I don't know about that. I have not looked into the whole Australian aspect of the situation. I can see why the Australians are so skeptical of this company and its owner Gautam Adani. If anything, last year they renamed themselves just as a rebranding so that people somehow forget how bad they are and how badly they've treated whatever country they've been in. With some of the latest farmer reform bills that were introduced by Modi, it is believed that one of the biggest beneficiaries of this change or this mandate that has been passed by Modi would be the Adani Group. The Adani Group seems to be at the right place at the right time, just like always, to make billions of dollars. The main takeaway of this story for a lot of my friends and family who want to be billionaires just like me is, it's important that you work hard, but it is even more important that you have the right connections. If you know the right people, you will make it. I mean, at this point, he doesn't even need Modi. He has enough money. Remember that saying, money gets you power. If he chooses to side with another politician who will give him a bigger benefit, he just moves his money over. He's not dependent on Modi. The things have switched. Previously, it was him depending on Modi to gain money. At this point, Modi depends on him to get re-elected, obviously with all those donations and stuff that gets behind him. Anyways, this is another video. I will see you in a week from now. Anyways, leave a comment down below. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. I will see you next week. Peace.